Hello students, acolytes, and apprentices of the Force. I welcome you back to another Star Wars holocron. Today we will learn about the Jedi and their greatest failures. In the waning days of the Galactic Republic, the Jedi Order stood as the beacon of hope and justice across the galaxy. For millennia, they had been the guardians of peace, their wisdom and powers in the Force guiding countless worlds through the darkness. Yet beneath the surface of their noble endeavors, the seeds of their undoing quietly sprouted, watered by their own hands. The Jedi of the High Republic era had embodied the ideals of the Order at its zenith. They were peacekeepers, philosophers, and guides, their actions driven by a deep connection to the light side of the Force. Their robes, white as the light they served, symbolized the purity of their purpose. But as the galaxy evolved, so too did the threats it faced. The Sith, long thought extinct, had been weaving a tapestry of destruction in the shadows, their threads invisible to the Jedi's clouded vision. Darth Sidious, a Sith Lord of unparalleled cunning, enacted a plan centuries in the making. Through political manipulation and dark sorcery, he orchestrated the Clone Wars, a galactic conflict that would serve as the anvil upon which the Jedi would be broken. The Jedi, once mediators and diplomats, were thrust into the role of generals and soldiers. Their transition from peacekeepers to warriors marked the beginning of their end. The Order's fall was not merely a consequence of external forces. Internally, the Jedi Council's arrogance and adherence to dogma blinded them to the changing galaxy around them. They clung to ancient codes and traditions, even as their relevance waned. The Jedi's refusal to adapt, to acknowledge the emotions and passions that make one human, alienated many within their own ranks, including Anakin Skywalker, a young Jedi prophesied to bring balance to the Force. Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader was a symptom of the Order's deeper malaise. His fall was precipitated not just by the machinations of Sidious, but by the Jedi's own failings. Their inability to offer compassion, to understand the complexities of the human heart, drove one of their greatest champions into the arms of the Sith. As the Clone Wars raged, the Jedi found themselves increasingly entangled in the politics of the Republic they had sworn to serve. Their independence eroded, replaced by a symbiotic relationship with the very institutions they were meant to oversee. This politicization of the Order sowed the seeds of distrust among the galaxy's citizens, who began to see the Jedi not as impartial guardians, but as arms of the Republic's military might. The culmination of these failings came swiftly. Order 66, a secret command embedded within the Republic's clone troopers, turned the soldiers under Jedi command against them. In a single stroke, the Jedi were betrayed, hunted, and nearly exterminated. The Order that had stood for 1,000 generations was reduced to whispers and shadows, its temples abandoned, its wisdom lost to the ages. The galaxy was forever changed in the wake of the Jedi Order's fall. The Empire, under Emperor Palpatine's iron grip, sought to erase all memory of the Jedi, casting them as traitors and enemies of the state. Yet the Force could not be so easily quelled. From the ashes of the old, a spark of hope ignited, fanned by the legacy of those who dared to believe in a better future. Luke Skywalker, a name that would become synonymous with hope, emerged from the shadows of his lineage to challenge the darkness. The son of Anakin Skywalker, he bore the weight of his father's choices, yet was not defined by them. Luke's journey was one of discovery, not just of his power, but of the true essence of the Jedi. He sought to rebuild what had been lost, but his vision was not a mere restoration of the past. It was a reimagining of what the Jedi could be. Luke understood that the failings of the old order were rooted in their detachment from the galaxy and the living Force. He saw that love, not detachment, was the true strength of the Jedi. It was love that had redeemed his father, love that had saved the galaxy from darkness. In his new order, Jedi were not forbidden from forming attachments. They were encouraged to forge bonds, to understand the galaxy not just through the Force, but through the connections that bound all living things. This new era of Jedi were not sequestered away in temples, isolated from the galaxy they served. They were part of it, living among the people, understanding their struggles, and aiding them not as distant guardians, but as fellow beings. Luke's teachings emphasized personal freedom and accountability, encouraging his students to explore the Force in all its aspects, to question and to learn, not just to obey. Yet, this new path was not without its challenges. The galaxy was vast, and darkness lingered in its corners. Some of Luke's students struggled with the balance between light and dark, freedom and responsibility. The New Order faced external threats too, remnants of the Empire and emerging dark side users who sought to undermine the fragile peace. Despite these trials, the new Jedi Order flourished. It became a beacon of hope, a symbol of what could be achieved when individuals embraced their potential for both power and compassion. The Jedi were once again guardians, but they were also healers, teachers, and friends. They were a living testament to the idea that one could wield great power while remaining grounded in humility and love. The legacy of the old Jedi was not forgotten. Lessons from their rise and fall were woven into the fabric of the New Order, serving as reminders of the past's perils and the eternal vigilance required to maintain balance. The new Jedi were not immune to failure, but they were better equipped to learn from their mistakes, to grow and adapt in ways their predecessors could not. As the galaxy moved forward, the Jedi with it, the Force found a new equilibrium. The darkness would always exist, as would the light, but the Jedi stood ready to navigate the shades between, guided by the lessons of the past and the hope for the future. In this new dawn, the Jedi were not just survivors of an ancient order. They were pioneers of a new way of understanding the Force, a testament to the resilience of hope and the enduring power of light in the darkness. The story of the Jedi was no longer one of fall and failure, but of rebirth, resilience, and redemption. But what do you think of the Jedi and their code? Did their own way of life lead them into near extermination? If the Jedi had altered their code, would Anakin have fallen to the dark side? As always, my students, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you. Have a great day.